Good afternoon. The date is February 14th. Happy Valentine's Day. This is the regularly scheduled Community Development and Regulatory Services meeting. My name is Jacob Fry. I'm the vice chair of this committee, but as Councilmember Goodman is not able to join, I will be chairing today. We have 15 items on the agenda for today. Items 7 through 15 are consent. I'll go through them briefly, and if anybody wants to pull something, they certainly can. Item number 7 is licenses and consumer services agenda for February 14th. It's a bunch of liquor and business licenses. 18 is a business license operating condition for 10th Base LLC, doing business as Pyramid. 9 is a business license operating condition for Yee's Therapeutic Massage, doing business as Yee's Therapeutic Massage. Number 10 is a business license suspension for Omar Inc., doing business as North Star Market and Sabra Inc. And through CPED, item number 11 is a passage of a resolution approving for a McSale Center Music 2015-2016 annual report, and it's the continued operation of the governmental program. Item number 12 is authorizing a first mortgage refinance over at Midtown Exchange Apartments. Item number 13 is passage of a resolution authorizing amended documents for American Academy of Neurology Institute bond issuance. Item number 14 is authorizing a contract with Daugherty and Company LLC to serve as municipal advisor to the Common Bond Fund until the completion of the OATI Bloomington project. And finally, item number 15 is a temporary on-sale liquor license which is a referral to staff, the subject matter of an ordinance amending Title 14 of the Minneapolis Code of Ordinances relating to liquor and beer, amending provisions related to temporary on-sale liquor licenses. Does anybody want to pull any of those items off? Seeing none, I will go ahead and move items number 7 through 15 for approval. All those in favor, please say aye. 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 All those opposed say no, and those items pass. We have a series of public hearings and land sales. Item number 1 is a land sale at 2600 17th Avenue South to PRG. And here to present is Mr. Pettiford. Take it away, Mr. Pettiford.
Chair, committee members. 2600 17th Avenue South is a property that we acquired, actually 2 acquisitions, in August of 2008 and July of 2015. They were both very decrepit buildings. They were demolished. The land was reconfigured to create a 48 by 123 parcel. The vacant parcel was advertised on the city's website through email notification to over 900 developers. 1 development proposal was received for this very buildable 48 by 123 parcel, and it was a market value offer of 11.8. The developer, PRG, proposes to build an 1,850 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home with a 2-car detached garage. The home will be sold for $220,000 to buyers with an income at or below 80% of the area median income. This proposal was forwarded to us and made prior to the February 10th policy that the council adopted relative to long-term affordability south and northeast. Are there questions?
Thank you, Mr. Pettiford. So what is the long-term affordability of this versus what the council ultimately decided?
The initial buyer is
at 80%.
To be at 80% or below.
Okay. And since it was
approved, however long they stay in the home, which may be a very long time, but there's not an end time frame. Actually, it's for all 4 of the proposals that I have today.
Okay. And all 4 of them were approved prior to the council change?
They were submitted. They reacted to ads that
Understood.
CPED placed prior to the February 10th program.
Thank you. Any further questions for staff? Thank you, Mr. Pettiford. I will now open the public hearing for the land sale of 2600 17th Avenue South. Anybody here want to talk about this item? Anybody here want to speak to this item? Anybody? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing and I will move approval of item number 1, land sale 2600 17th Avenue South. Any discussion? All those in approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no, and that item passes. Item number 2 is a land sale for 2604 17th Avenue South. Mr. Pettiford.
Chair, committee members, again, this property was the result of acquisition of at least 2 properties. Those properties were demolished and land reconfigured to create a 54 by 123 parcel. The vacant parcel, again, was advertised on the city's website. Only one offer was received, and that offer was received from Owner and Residence Group. And again, they are proposing to build an 1,850 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family house with a 2-car detached garage. Again, the lot size is 54 by 123. The fair market value price of the land is $11,800. Then sales price is $220, with the buyer with an income at or below 80% of the area median income. The neighborhood organization on this proposal and the previous proposal endorsed this, and they have pledged their NRP funds to assist in the development costs. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Pettiford about item number 2? It seems to be relatively similar to the last one. I'll note that in addition to council members Warsami, Kano, and Reich, we've been joined by council member Quincy. Thank you, Mr. Pettiford. I'll open the public hearing for land sale of 2604 17th Avenue South. Anybody want to speak to this? Come on down. State your name and your address for the record, please.
Good afternoon. I'm Kathy Wetzel-Mastel from...
you can just talk into both of them. You don't need to talk into one of them. Yeah.
Powderhorn Residence Group. I just thought I'd come up and say hello. I'm here.
Yeah.
If you've got any questions about the long-term affordability, I'd be happy to answer them. I think organizationally, we're really in a place where we're trying to balance sort of competing priorities. One is this idea of perpetual affordability so that the investment continues to benefit subsequent households versus wealth and asset creation for lower income, primarily households of color. And so it's an internal debate. I will say that we purchased 2 lots in the Phillips neighborhood very close by to these lots last year. We sold them to households both moving out of public housing. One used the City of Lakes Community Land Trust model, and the other was able to buy conventionally. So just wanted to share that with you and see if you had any questions.
Thank you very much for coming to visit us. Does anybody have any questions? No? Thank you.
All right.
Anyone else want to talk about this item? Anyone else? Anyone else? I will close the public hearing. Council Member Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Move approval of the item as presented.
Council Member Reich has moved approval of item number 2. Are there any questions or any comments on this motion? Seeing none, all those in approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Item number 2 passes. Item number 3 is a land sale of 3321 25th Avenue South to Value Homes. And Mr. Pettiford is here to present again.
Mr. Chairman, this is a property that we acquired in April of 2014 from Hennepin County for $1. The vacant parcel was subsequently advertised by the city to over 900 developers. Only one offer was received for this parcel, and that offer was presented to us by Value Homes. And the developer proposes to build a 2,200 square foot single family home with 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a full basement, and a double car Detached garage, the estimated sales price is $324,900. They're proposing to buy this for the full fair market value, which is $26,400. The parcel size is 40 by 100.
Thank you, Mr. Pettiford. Any questions for staff? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing for the land sale at 3321 25th Avenue South. Anyone here to speak to this item? Anyone here to speak to this item? Anyone here to speak to this item? Seeing that nobody's here, I will close the public hearing. Councilmember Kano.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I will move this item forward.
Councilmember Kano has moved approval of item number 3. Is there any further discussion on that motion? Seeing none, all those in approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say no. Item number 3 passes. Item number 4 is a land sale at 3010 California Street Northeast to Singular Development Resources. Mr. Pettiford.
Mr. Chair, this is a property that we acquired in January of 2009 from HUD for $1. The structure was demolished and the resulting vacant parcel was publicly advertised on the city's website. And only actually one proposal was received. The developer proposes to build 2 units of housing with a main house and a detached accessory dwelling unit. The main house will have 1,200 square feet and will feature 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, and the ADU will feature 420 square feet, 1 bedroom and 1 bath. The main house will be visitable unit, and the ADU will be handicapped accessible. The property will be marketed only for owner occupancy at $330,000. The proposer is Singular Development Resources, and they were the only proposer that submitted for this parcel. This plan was reviewed by the neighborhood organization, which is the Marshall Terrace neighborhood, and they are endorsing this proposal. Again, the sales price of the land is $35,300, and the lot is 40 by 134. Are there any questions?
Any questions for Mr. Pettiford? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing. Anybody here to speak on the land sale for 3010 California Street Northeast? Anyone? Want to speak? Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you wanted. Anyone want to speak? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'll just make a brief comment. I think it's a very sharp design, and we get sort of 2 different objectives with smaller footprint homes being joined by an even smaller footprint home as an auxiliary structure, which has been one of our long-standing policies to allow for those. And so here we have it all in one project in a very, very sharp, spiffy design to boot. So I happily move this forward, Mr. Chair.
Councilmember Reich has moved forward item number 4. Any discussion on this item? Seeing none, all those in approval, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say no. Thank you, Mr. Pettiford.
Thank you.
Item number 5. Item number 5 is a business license operating conditions for 4G Inc. doing businesses as Delano's Pizza. Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The application before us is for a new on-sale liquor license with Sunday sales for a Delano's Pizza restaurant to be located at 118 4th Street North. They're also seeking special late night hours of operation for food service after the 2 a.m. Alcohol service end. This is in the downtown west neighborhood in the 3rd Ward. The site at 118 4th Street North was for a long time occupied by the Sawati Bar and Cafe from 1993 to 2009, and it has been vacant since that time. This restaurant will have seating for 136 persons inside, and at this time will have no outdoor areas. They're seeking extended hours to operate from 11 a.m. to 4 a.m. for food service Monday through Saturday, and from 11 a.m. to 2 a.m. on Sunday nights, which is actually Monday a.m. The owner of this restaurant is Jared Gruitt. He is the 100% owner and president of the company. He has operated the Delano's Pizza on Lake Street for the past 3 years, and that location also holds a special late-night food license. There have been no problems reported at that restaurant related to his operation of the restaurant or operating late at night. A public hearing is required for this application, and we did notify all property owners and residents within 450 feet. We also notified the Minneapolis Downtown Neighborhood Association and the Warehouse District Business Association of today's public hearing. We received no responses for or against this application. Because of the late night food application, the applicant has undergone a security review with the Minneapolis Police Department's first precinct, and they made a variety of security recommendations, which we have adopted as license conditions that the owner has agreed to, and they're part of today's application. The application seems to meet all of our requirements, and staff's recommendation is that the application be approved.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Any questions for staff? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing for the business license operating conditions for 4G, doing business as Delano's Pizza. Anyone here want to speak to this item? Anyone here want to speak to this item? No? All right, well, I will close the public hearing. It makes it more interesting when people speak to it, by the way, I think. But I will close the public hearing. I'll move approval myself. I'm really excited that we're getting another pizza joint in this particular area, and I'm even more excited that it's going to be open a little bit after hours as well. I think we run into troubles when we roll up the sidewalks and only 1 or 2 locations serve food. Not only does it disable you from soaking up the alcohol, but it also causes all of the commotion to be located in one specific area. So I think this is a really great addition. I happily move approval. Any questions or comments on this item? Seeing none, all those in approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. Item number 5 passes. Item number 6 is Burlesque LLC, doing business as Minsky Theater at 1517 Central Avenue Northeast. And here to present is Mr. Wilson.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We have an application for an on-sale wine and strong beer license, Class A, to be operated in conjunction with a theater known as the Minsky Theater. They have held a theater license at this address, which is 115 Central Avenue Northeast, since April of 2016. This is in the Northeast Park neighborhood in the 1st Ward. They have interior seating for 125 persons and no exterior area at this time. The owner of this theater is Alina Mularelli. She's a 100% owner. The Minsky Theater does currently hold a Class A theater license, and they offer burlesque entertainment, and they will offer plays, skits, comedy reviews, and dancing associated with that type of theater. A public hearing is required. This site has not held a beverage alcohol license previously. We notified all residents and property owners within 600 feet of this theater. We also notified the Northeast Park Neighborhood Association and the Northeast Minneapolis Chamber of Commerce of today's public hearing. We received no responses for or against this application. Our staff review finds that they meet all of our requirements, and we recommend that the application be approved today.
Thank you, Mr. Wilson. Any questions for staff? Seeing none, I will open the public hearing for the Burlesque LLC, doing business as Minsky Theater for the. Yeah, right. Yes. And we get a dance and everything. This is great. You made my day. I was disappointed that we weren't going to get anybody come up, but
No, that's me.
you came
Hi,
through.
I'm Alina. How you guys doing today?
We are doing well.
If you guys have any questions for me, I'm happy to explain anything about the venture. We really just want to be able to have a little wine with our performances. So that's what we're here to try to figure out. So.
Thank you, Lenny. Can you state your address for the record as well?
My personal or the business?
Your personal.
6632 Lakeland Avenue, North Brooklyn Park.
Great. Thank you. Any questions? I don't think we have any questions. Well, thank you very much
Hope
for,
to see you
for
guys at a
your,
show.
your work. Yeah, you will. You will. So anybody else want to talk to this item? Anybody else want to speak to this item? Anyone else? Seeing none, I will close the public hearing. Councilmember Reich.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a very excellent thing we have before us. You know, them being very new addition to the Arts District, very consistent new business in our area. And of course, as we know, we're not just an arts district, we're a place where people like to have fun. So this, I think, goes to that winning combination that Northeast is known by. So I move this item forward.
That's right. Councilmember Reich has moved item number 6 forward. Any further discussion? All those in approval, please. So the question is whether usually we wouldn't get into this now, but I'll just ask anyway. Mr. Wilson, is the confectionery license in here as well?
The confectionery license is something that we counter issue right at the desk, so that's been issued.
Okay, it's been issued. Yeah, so you should be good to go. All those in approval, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed say no. That item passes. There you go. Congratulations. And seeing that we have completed all of our items today, we will end on that high note, and this meeting is adjourned.